Whether it's life, love, or mysteries of the universe, I'm here to break it down for you. So fasten your seatbelts, open your minds, and let's dive into the simple truth with me, Stuart, by your side. Right, and a very good morning, very good evening, and a very good afternoon to everybody that's joining us in today's call. So, this is Waking Up to Win with myself, Stuart. And today I've actually got, and I want to call him an old friend, met him many, many years ago, and he took us down his journey. And this particular journey was a journey that really changed my life in real estate because I took some of his little tidbits and I used to put them into practice. And over the years, every now and again, there's always a reach out and connection. Who is this individual and where is he coming from? Well, the individual on the call, he goes by the name of Kirby Chan. Now, you might say, who is Kirby Chan? Well, one thing that I can tell you, Kirby is an absolute social media guru. I think he's understood the social media platforms better than the developers of the platforms because he understands those algorithms to get your business up and running. So, Kirby, how are you doing today? And thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And it's nice to see you again, Stuart. It's been a long time. I haven't visited anybody in South Africa, since the pandemic. I haven't made any trips back. So it's nice seeing old friends.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So, for the people that are going to be coming onto this particular call or watching the recording afterwards, they're obviously going to have this question: who is Kirby? Where does he come from? What does he do? So, give us a little bit of a background. Who is Kirby before real estate? Who is Kirby Chan?
Well, before real estate, before real estate, I'll tell you where I came from. I'm from Canada, so I still live in Toronto in Canada. And I grew up in a real estate household. So my dad was a real estate agent, a failing one. Okay, he told me. And one thing he told me when growing up was never be a real estate agent, right? Because it was so hard for him. He didn't like talking to people. Okay, he had a bad temper, couldn't deal with clients. So, anyways, I did open houses with him, went to see investment properties, and just the kind of mindset he had was that he gave me was, real estate was not an easy game to play. So my dad switched to became a real estate appraiser because he's more numbers guy, not really client facing guy. And then I joined him at 23. I joined my dad as a real estate appraiser. So I did that for 7 years. And then at the end of my career as a real estate appraiser, learning all about construction, all about values, I was just starting to be sick of it because knowing all that, I'm still the villain in the market. Why? Because the appraiser is the guy who doesn't give you enough money, right? He appraises low. The bank doesn't like me because I praise low, right? They want higher numbers so they can do more deals, right? More bump up their volume, right? The mortgage brokers. And so I said, I'm sick of it. 2010, I said, I'm leaving. And I said, I want to use my real estate license for good now. And at that point in my life, I thought I wanted to be a hero. Okay.
And that journey, how's it going so far? I mean, you've taken from appraisal, now going into real estate. I know the success that you've had, but it hasn't been a smooth run in the beginnings. How was the beginning years? Talk us through those first years of how you got into the real estate to really become an agent from an appraisal.
Yeah, I think it's very lucky that I had a friend that said, hey, let's go see this company, okay? And I don't know if you want to name the company, but I went with my friend. It's a red banner. And we went and joined that company. And I was very lucky because it was a very small company in Canada. Like we only had 3 offices, right? And when you're in a small company, you get to have opportunities. And the opportunity at that time was nobody was willing to teach this new technology that came out of that company. It's a new CRM. And maybe it's stereotype or whatever it was, but I'm also Chinese, and in this neighborhood here, they would think we're very techie. But I was not a techie guy. I just came from appraisal, right? I was very analytical with measuring houses and valuation, but I wasn't technology wise. I wasn't really good. But she says, no, go on this training every week and then come back and teach at the market center. Okay. So I would have to now go to YouTube and learn about internet lead generation every week to teach it. And to learn something really fast is when you have to teach it, because you have to know your stuff. People are going to call you out, right? And so I learned really, really fast how to generate Facebook leads. And this was back in 2010 when Facebook leads were like 10 cents each. Seller leads were 10 cents each back then. And this was the very beginning of a technology. So that taught me something, which is if there's new technology, is to jump on it first. Okay. Now technology fizzles out, right? Some of them don't catch on. Like who's on Threads right now? Anyone on Threads? Nobody here?
I don't think you're going to find too many people.
Well, Threads was what Facebook said, I'm going to do a Twitter copy, right? Right? Has anybody used Clubhouse here?
No one, right? Heard of it.
So these are technologies I jumped on really early, but it fizzled out, right? But who's heard of TikTok?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right? You guys heard of TikTok, right? When TikTok came out, jump on, it hasn't fizzled out. So you keep going on that. So every new technology that comes out, I would say as real estate agents, jump on it just in case, right? Learn it just in case. At least you have a presence there, even though it's not a big one. Like LinkedIn is not a big one, but at least you have a LinkedIn account, you have presence there, okay? Like when you compare TikTok and LinkedIn, LinkedIn is really small, right? But it's really focused, really, really focused on something.
Absolutely.
So, you know, teaching every week got me to become the director of technology in the company. It also got me to start to reach out to all the market centers in Canada and started teaching at all the market centers. Then I taught at the national conference. I think it was in Vegas or New Orleans. That's where the leadership in South Africa saw me and said, oh, I want that in our family reunion. And that's when 2018, I flew over to Balito, Durban, and we presented to South Africa there. And at that conference, I presented my Facebook playbook back then. So it was how to use Facebook to set up a database where you can cause raving fans, okay? Raving fans that will give you repeat and referral business. Okay, so to this day, I still teach that every month. So you guys are invited to that. Okay, I'll give Stuart all the links. Perfect. And all EXP agents are welcome to that class. So I still teach that. And then with Facebook, I found that I was using 3 to 4 hours a day on Facebook. So then I thought, what can I do to leverage this? Because this is not door knocking or cold calling. Social media, you don't have to use your own effort to do it. So someone else can do it. Did you guys know that? You can train a virtual assistant to take care of your social media, right? Like Noreen, do you have a daughter or niece maybe, right? That person can take care of your social media. Okay, so I get a lot of pushback saying, oh, I don't use this. These are young people stuff, right? But you can hire the young people to do it. Because I'm getting older too, right? I'm 46. So me and TikTok are not that age, but I got a 16-year-old girl from the high school. She comes in every day and she works on my TikTok. Okay.
Perfect leverage. Yeah.
And then I have another, she's free, right? Because the high school sends kids to my office that I can train, and those are free. But my virtual assistants are in the Philippines, are 3 of those ones, and they work on all of my social media. So I spend about now, I do the creation week. So I'll create all my social media for the month. Okay. And then they are the ones that implement it. They post it on, they reply to comments and chats and all that. They message my clients on Facebook. So all of that is created by me at the beginning of the month, and they implement it going forward. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So just to Kirby, you're actually doing it in the most fantastic way. You know, we always say when you're looking at your business, leads, listings, leverage. Leverage is that absolute key in your actual business if you're wanting to grow. Working 3 hours a day on Facebook, I mean, that's burning time. Yeah. Leveraging people, and that's really what I wanted to highlight here, is leveraging people in a different country Now, this is really mind-blowing for a lot of people because they always think that I need to leverage my son or my daughter or my neighbor's kids or something like that, something that's close to home. But you've actually leveraged in a different country. Talk to me. How was that process? How did you start in that process? Because I know there's a number of agents that are going to go, I never thought about the Philippines. I never thought about a different country. How did you go about getting that first leveraging hire as a virtual assistant in a different country?
So I first started with South Africa. So looking at how much it cost, right? Because I traveled there, wanted to start up the virtual assistants over there. But I think it was 10,000 Rand a month. Does that sound right?
Yep, that's right.
To find an assistant, 10 to 12,000 Rand. And it was too much for me. That didn't work. So what I found was someone in Philippines, and I used Facebook at first. I used Facebook, went to Facebook groups, and found a lot of people that send me resumes. So they'll send me their resume, and I will hire them at that time, it was $10 Canadian. It was $10 Canadian an hour. Okay.
Perfect.
And there were ones that were $5 Canadian, 6, 7, 8. But I tried all that in the beginning. Okay. I went really cheap, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I found that they were not good quality and that they were cheating me on time. So they would take 2 hours to work 1 hour of work. So if you're paying someone $5, it's the same actually. You're actually paying them $10. Yeah. So I'd rather have a high productive individual that I'm paying $10 at that time. I pay 12 now. I've raised it because I want better quality now and get better work. The key is that you hold them accountable. When someone's working halfway around the world, you have to, have the morning meeting with them and the after shift meeting. So beginning of the shift and after the shift. You cannot leave them for a couple of days and then go back, or they'll be like, I'll just watch TV.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you've actually you became a Facebook guru, understanding the basics of Facebook. You used Facebook to find and leverage a virtual assistant. So using that communication platform, and that was a key point. And I think everyone should actually acknowledge that is, don't always go cheap, because if you're paying them by the hour, they could actually take twice as long, which ultimately means that what you would pay for 2 hours, you can get someone to do in 1 hour. And you're getting the same productivity out of it. So you're paying exactly the same. And I know that's a big thing for people. They always look at that sorting. Let's see who's the cheapest, and let's start there to save a few pennies and pounds and rands and dollars, where it doesn't always make logical sense. So you've gone up and you've now taken it to the $12, and now you've got 3 virtual assistants. How did that growth? What got you to go from a single virtual assistant to 3 virtual assistants? What was the methodology and the reason why?
Okay, so what happened, to share a story, is that I was taking a course called Landmark Forum. Okay, I think they run this course in Cape Town, by the way. So you're going to write it down. Landmark Forum is pivotal in my transformation, and through their teaching, I had a leadership course that I was supposed to set up a nonprofit in the world, anywhere in the world. And I chose to set up a nonprofit in the Philippines, meaning I started a virtual assistant agency there that makes no money. All the money goes back to everyone working there. And so this was a new model, a social kind of enterprise that I would say I wanted to beat all the virtual assistant programs there in the Philippines. So getting the highest skilled workers, paying them the most in the Philippines, and then giving it to my friends or other agents to use. But if you think about other agencies that are charging $12, the virtual assistant's only making $5 there. We're charging $12. We're giving them close to $12, right? We have to pay admin fees. So we're the highest paying ones, and we get the best quality. So I think that's where it starts, is having the best quality and then all the virtual assistants have ownership feeling. So they're stakeholders. Okay. So if you guys know revenue sharing, it's the same thing in that company. They all get revenue sharing. So they all feel like owners. So they don't leave, right? That was one of my problems with virtual assistant was you hire them and then they leave, okay? After a couple of weeks or months, because why? There's a company like Kirby Chan's company there that's paying them more. Of course they'll leave. They'll come to my company, right? So that was one thing, longevity, ownership, and then skill, right? Teaching them the skills that are needed over there. So what I got them to do when I first started to train them is that they learn, and then the people there will cross-train. The leadership will cross-train. And so they're all learning how to, work in real estate. Okay. So, I can't hear you, Stuart. Is it my fault here?
Oh, no, apologies. That was mine that muted. So that was actually one of my questions that I was actually going to follow up on. That was, how do you keep them? Because now you're growing with these virtual assistants. How do you keep them? And you just actually answered that was one, giving them that stakeholder so they feel the ownership. That's absolutely brilliant, because I know a company that's in blue with 3 letters that does the exact same thing. We become stakeholders, and that's how you keep your retention. Is there any other little secrets that you do with them that keeps them engaged?
Having a culture that you set up. So every Monday and Friday, we start the week and end the week, and we will, one of us will read out our design statement for our company. Perfect. So that they know what they're playing for, or else if they don't know the bigger game, then they're only stuck in their role. So their role could be editing videos, right? So if they're editing videos all the time, they don't know the bigger game that we're playing. So we'll read it out, and anyone that works in our office will always see our mission, vision, values on the wall here, right? So everybody at the office, all the agents, all the admin team, we always know what we're playing for, right?
Fantastic.
I think that's
so a lot of engagement. I mean, that's a big thing, is engagement. I mean, you said daily meetings, weekly, really giving them that vision, mission, and vision statements so that they all are well aware of all of that. So now you've got all this leveraging and you've got all social medias. I actually want to find out, now this is pulling it into your real estate business. How has it helped your real estate business integrating social media? Could you do your real estate business without it?
I could.
I heard that hesitation.
Without it, but I would say it would take a lot more work. It's a lot more work. And if I had to go back to old-fashioned way, it would mean like without social media, I mean like lots of phone calls. Lots more phone calls. We do phone calls now once a quarter, or depending on the client rating, it'll be once every half a year, or maybe once a year. Okay, everybody gets a rating. And with social media, it helps, because even if we contact them once a year, or there's some contacts we don't contact them at all, no phone calls, it's all social media, right? And it's still fine, right? They still feel connected to us. And it's funny, we have a Santa party last week where Santa Claus comes to our office, all our clients come take photos, and they're talking to me about things that I've never told them about, right? So they saw most of my videos on Facebook or Instagram, or they watch my stories, so they know things, right? They know, hey, where's your new watch? They know what kind of watches I bought. So social media is really cool to share your story out there. And there's the cool thing, guys, is that you can write your own story. Everything you share on social media, you can write your own story, however you want to be portrayed, right? I always recommend being authentic, portraying who you are. And if you don't like how you portray who you are, then I would say do some more personal development. So if you look at social media, if you're very negative on there, that's not a good social media strategy. Or being overly positive is actually no good either. So on social media, you want to be authentic, where there is no positive or negative, and it's authentically showing who you are out there, right? So you may think, I don't want to show the people this, or I don't want to share this failure, this story. It's like, go and do it. Go and do it, because you don't know what it will inspire in other people. So when you inspire other people on social media, what you get back is, hey, I wanted to use this person as my real estate agent. Isn't that weird?
Authenticity. That's an absolute key. And I know a lot of people are thinking, you know what, Kirby, it's easy for you. You've been doing it now for probably 13 years, doing social media posts. And for you, it's become second nature. For a lot of people, social media it's a personal platform, and I want to keep it kind of private. So when I go onto social media, I'm going to post new listing or this property is on show, and I'm going to be very business orientated and all of that. And there's definitely this fine line between the two. But I've come to realize that you are the real estate agent, and your authenticity of selling the home, as well as going out and celebrating a sporting event and sharing that on social media, has just as much of an impact. If you think back over the last 13 years of doing social media, has there been a post that you've done that has stood out that even you went, wow, that has actually become amazing? Something that you've posted that really has like stepped in the top of your head? Anything over the 13 years?
I guess my most shocking and popular post was last month when I joined the blue team. when I switched over to EXP, that was like the most shared and viewed post. But other than that, I think it's family. I think the family experiences are the most engaging.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Family vacation or the kids. I think that is the most engaging content that I have.
Absolutely. And that's being authentic.
It's being authentic, and anything open house or for sale. Again, you see me in a video with my kids putting up the sold sign, right? So I incorporate family with the kids. That's my demographic. That I'm focused on are families with kids, and also seniors. So the aging community, right? Seniors, and they love the kids stuff. Okay, they go on Facebook just to look at their grandkids. Right? So they comment on all of my posts. The families comment. So those, I think, fit very well with my demographic, right? So if anyone here is focused on, let's say, commercial real estate, you may not be the one putting photos of your kids and grandkids on Facebook, okay? It may be a little different market. So you really have to look at your buyer persona and your profile. And that maybe we could segue later onto ChatGPT to discover all that.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because when I mentioned to you any highlighted post, I actually remember the post. I did see the post, and that's why I just wanted to add that little bit in there to see if that was one of the highlighted posts, because when the move came across, it was like, wow, that's like amazing. Yeah. And I actually knew the move before you posted it, by the way. It just happened to be a reach out call and all of that. So you touched on something which is a new technology, and really where I wanted to finish off was to discuss, is Kirby Chan using ChatGPT, and has ChatGPT come into your business in any way, and how?
So yes, the answer is I love ChatGPT right now, because what we find right now is that we could utilize the tools and ChatGPT. And I know people say there's dangers with it, right? But at this point is reap all the benefits you can from ChatGPT, right? Because the people that are not using it right now are not, enhance their business with AI. So if some of you don't know what AI is, right? It's, using computers to generate content for you. It could be visual content like photos. It could be videos. Okay. It could be literature, so they can write a book for you. Okay. Now, it's very, a lot of people are using it wrong though. A lot of people turn on ChatGPT and say, here's my question, right? Answer for me. It's going to answer the ChatGPT way, which is very generic, out of the box. So if Noreen asked the question, give me an article, 10 best ways to sell a house. I write the same thing in Canada here. What's the 10 best way to sell a house? will both get the same answers. We put it on our website. Guess what? We both look like very generic, right? So a lot of people don't know how to customize the content. You could get the content, rewrite the whole thing, but that will defeat its purpose, right? So what you want to do, and here's a hack that I've been testing out recently, is to start writing your journals in ChatGPT. Okay, everything you're learning in real estate, how you take notes, copy and paste those notes into that one ChatGPT chat. So it could be called real estate instructor or real estate tutor. You can name your chats, right? Pour all of your real estate knowledge in there, and that will be your real estate content creator. So you can always go back to that chat, and that chat will create the content for you because you inputted everything. You can have another chat that says Kirby Chan personal assistant. So in that Kirby Chan personal assistant, I'll write all my diaries there. Does anyone still write journals? Yeah, if you write a journal, put your journal. Okay, I have coaching calls with my coach. I put my coaching notes in there too. If you put all your personal stuff in there, you can always go back to that chat and say, hey, create 2 to 3 posts for me on social media, using last week's experiences. It will rewrite my experiences, okay, and write it in the way I write it into social media posts with emojis and all that. Then you go back in your camera roll, you share a photo, and you see it all the time, those social media influencers looking far like this on a mountain. I don't know. Maybe find the picture you took on Table Mountain a long time ago. And then you post it up, and then you have your journal there, and people love that stuff. People eat up that stuff too.
Perfect.
Yeah, but you write it.
So here you've actually integrated 13 years of social media, Facebook, Instagram, now obviously going to TikTok and all the other ones, integrating ChatGPT, which is really the new buzzword that's going around. It is only now 13 months old, and things are starting to migrate with new Gemini that's getting launched tomorrow. So that's the new one from Google that'll be coming out. So there's a lot of artificial intelligence that's actually coming out and starting to integrate it. Now, if you look at the future of your real estate business, where is it going? What do you think is going to happen to Kirby Chan's business in 2024?
I think there's a couple more years of traditional real estate. Yeah.
Good.
I think for Canada and for South Africa, we keep a close eye on USA. Okay, keep a close eye on what they're doing over there, because in Canada we're about 2 years behind the trends, and I think it's moving faster. So in the US, they're having all these big companies like Zillow working as a real estate brokerage and turning real estate into a salaried position, right? And so for next year, I don't think there's going to be a change for Kirby Chan & Co. I think for our company, it's keep growing with more agents. And what we did was start a new team. When we left our old company, we were taught to build this real estate team and different levels and everything. But now at EXP, for example, we set up a real estate team here with no splits, right? So we used to do 50-50 splits with agents, and now at our team, no splits. Agents make 100%. Okay, so I think our team will grow exponentially with this model, right? With agents making the bulk of the commission. And before I couldn't do this. So that's what I see next year is that our team grows. We utilize more of AI, because that saves us time for the admin team to create anything. Sellers packages can be done in a day now. Buyers package done in a day. We can probably automate our listing presentation next year so that AI can do a lot of that stuff in there. Everything will be looking customized for our clients. Video creation, I'm working on something right now, just for fun. Is you guys seen the technology where they put Tom Cruise's face onto like another guy and he acts like Tom Cruise? Well, what we could do now is actually put our face onto anything. like I could put Stewart's face as Bruce Willis, from the movie. It would take a lot of time before for face swapping, but now it's like this. AI can do it like that, right? And then you can speak any language on AI. So if you guys see my recent story, I was speaking German in my recent story. I was testing that out because I know there's a EXP Germany, right? I can release that video over there, right? I could speak Afrikaans in my videos. I can translate it and I can send it to you guys, see if anyone speaks Afrikaans here. Could tell me if it's good. But all of that is available to us. And this is like $10 a month, an app called Captions that does all that. We're not talking about like costing hundreds of dollars anymore. This technology is like $10 here, $10 here, and we can have access to all that. So it's pretty powerful, and I'm excited to what's going to come next year, what new technology. I'm learning every day, right? The thing is that we can't learn all the technology that's coming out right now. I think that's key, right? What works for real estate agents, what social media works for real estate agents, and how we use social media, right, for real estate agents. Because there's like, if we don't do that, there's like a million ways to do something, right? And a lot of that is wasting a lot of agents' time.
Kirby, thank you so much for coming on. Any final thoughts or comments from your side?
I think this business is very simple, right? But it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work goes into it, and it's very repetitive, a lot of things we do. And what I see, and with all the agents I've known all these years, is there's people that give up too soon. They give up too soon. So they have a short attention span. They'll do real estate, do what the coaches says, training. And then after a month, it's like 2 months, I want to switch to something else. And so much switching, and I think is our ability to focus and our ability to talk to the people that have done it already and set up that plan for you. So if you don't have a plan of 2024 right now, next year, if I asked you what you're doing on May the 23rd and you say, I don't know, then you need to talk to a coach or talk to somebody that can plan the whole year for you. And if you don't do the whole year, at least do January, February, March. Okay, so that you have those 90 days. It's around the corner, right? 90 days. If you have those 90 days, every day your schedule is set for those 90 days, then you're done. That means you just have to live out those 90 days. Whatever you plan for those 90 days, GCI, number of units done, you're going to get it for sure, 100%. Because you let Stuart see it, or you've checked with another top producer in the industry and say, hey, here's my 90 days. Am I going to do this much closing? And if that guy says, no, you're missing a lot of stuff in here, go and add it in, right? That's how you live a big life, is you set the next 90 days, but you have to get the successful people to set it up for you. And then you don't fight it, just live it. Wake up at 5 because the experts say 5, go work out at 5 here, go to role play at 6:30. So if it's someone that's done it before, set that schedule up for you, all you have to do is live it, right? And you stop switching things, and you can focus on that plan, your 3-month plan, and whatever you put in there, it will suddenly happen.
Kirby, thank you so much. The words that I'm taking away from this: don't fight it, live it. That is the absolute key to it. Kirby, it's always been an honor to have a chat with you. Thank you so much for your time, for coming on to these sessions. I know we're definitely going to be having a chat again into the actual future. Wishing all the love to your family over there. And I'm looking forward to 2024 of connecting. So from myself, Stuart, this is a journey that you go on. And it's a journey that starts with you and ends with you. However, you can leverage technology, you can leverage a virtual assistant to help you to grow forward. From myself, this is Waking Up to Win with myself, Stuart, with my guest, Kirby. My final words and my phrase for you is: life is a question. The way you live it is the answer. You guys have a fantastic day further. Thank you so much, guys.